Welcome to another episode of Me and ADHD. Now, today's episode, as you will understand, is a little bit out of my expertise. Well, to be honest with you, ADHD is out of my expertise, as well as, I have it, and I still really don't know much about it. But today's conversation over coffee and biscuits is the menopause and ADHD. Now, today's guest is Lizzie. Lizzie will be joining via video. By audio even. Got that wrong right at the beginning. And yes, that's how it goes. And she can tell us how the menopause can create additional hurdles to overcome when you have ADHD. So firstly, welcome, Lizzie.
Hi.
How's it going? You all right?
Good morning. Yep, I'm good, thank you.
Excellent. Okay, Lizzie, tell me about yourself. What's going on?
Where do we start? I won't brain dump. Well, basically, I went through a late diagnosis as yourself, getting diagnosed with ADHD, even though it was there from probably age 3, all across medical notes, etc. And I just had to find the right doctor to listen, to then get me referred. And then I was referred straight away with ADHD because it was just all there with medical backup as well, and everything I'd experienced. So I was late diagnosed, and I just waited for that diagnosis. For me, it wasn't just about the label, it was knowing what was actually wrong with me.
Yeah.
After hearing it all your life, oh, you're this, you're that, you're hyper, you're this, blah blah blah. And it's not just been about hyperactive, there is so many more things to it. And it absolutely, I'm going to throw this in the mix when people say everyone's got a little bit of ADHD or a little bit of autism or this and that. They don't. And to be through it is a totally, to live daily with it. Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, it's one of those things where, when people say things like that, sometimes you just got to bite your tongue a little bit, because it's just like,
I don't bite my tongue.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I should actually just voice my opinion more often, I think, but I sort of keep it to myself. But yeah, when people do say things like that, it's like, okay, all right, so you're a little bit like that. Okay, have you been that for the last 30 years? Maybe no. The last year you've been like that. Okay, all right,
yeah.
So your ADHD is a little bit different to mine then. Okay, yeah. It does belittle everyone who has struggled all their lives.
Yeah, just to be seen, heard. Yeah.
Yeah, to make it simplified like that. Everyone's a little bit hyperactive, everyone's a little bit dizzy, everyone's a little bit forgetful. It's like,
no. Oh, yeah, waking up with 1,000 thoughts in your head, going to sleep with 1,000 thoughts, like having all them. To me, I can only describe it as being in a large children's cafeteria at school, and all that noise, and that is the thoughts we've got continuously. Yeah.
I had a conversation. I don't know if I said it to you as well, but I had a conversation not that long ago that I didn't realize that people who are again, the words are going now. This is me. This is what happens. Who are neurotypical can actually, clear their minds, think of nothing. And I didn't realize that I was absolutely gobsmacked that is actually a thing. Because I just thought everyone's head was kind of like mine, but obviously can control it better. But to actually think of nothing or one thing, that's that doesn't happen for us, I guess. So definitely for me.
Yeah.
It's like when they speak to people and they've had a bad night's sleep because their head's racing. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Now that is my head every day. Yeah. Okay, on a normal day, that is my head throughout the day, 24/7. Yes. So imagine what it's like when I can't sleep because my head is racing.
Yeah.
How much faster and how much stuff is going on in my head and I can't shut it off. Yeah. Compared to, your little one day thing. It's like,
Oh,
Mm.
yeah, and it's the precious speech as well comes with it. I get precious speech because my brain wants to chuck out so much that I can't get the words out, or it comes out completely like thing. And my son will look at me and say, "Well, you just said something completely back to front," but he gets what I'm saying because he's had to deal with me. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. I talk really quite slowly a lot of the time because I'm still trying to think of the words and get the
yes,
words out. And a lot of the time, as we noticed a minute ago, I forget words. You
yes,
know,
yeah,
words that I use, all the time,
yeah,
just
and then it,
completely go out
yeah,
of my head. And I can't think. My wife's pretty good though; she can fill in the gaps for me though.
yeah,
If I'm having a conversation, we've got to the point where she can say the word for me. I'm like, thank you.
yeah, because it's there. See, I mask a lot, and I like in professional situations or appointments, I'm rehearsing what I'm going to be saying for the appointment so that I don't
Yeah,
literally brain dump and it all comes out back to front or completely way off topic or just random things what come out and then somebody go why and then I think why did I say that but it's just
yeah,
the way my brain works and that's it. But masking, it's horrible because it's tiring when you have to, it's so tiring, it's exhausting masking. Yeah,
yeah.
sitting on your
It
hands,
is.
not biting, not biting, scratching, it's, oh yeah, it's just
Yeah.
constant.
It is. It is. It's horrible. It's horrible. I hate it. Completely hate it.
Yeah.
But then you've got for women who go through the menopause, you've got some extra hurdles as well.
Yeah, so
Which is like, oh, wow, if it isn't bad enough, let's throw in a menopause as well.
yeah, let's chuck that in. So basically, I had a surgical hysterectomy, and I wasn't meant to go into the menopause. They left my
Okay.
ovaries so to keep me not from going into the menopause, but literally from a few days after having the surgery, I knew I wasn't right. I knew
Okay.
something drastic happened. And I always remember I couldn't get up the stairs after the surgery, so I was laying in the front room, and the extractor fan in the kitchen. I was literally going to have a breakdown over the noise of the
Oh,
extractor fan, and that was the
yeah.
first thing for me. I thought I'm not right. I've got sensory overload so bad here. Something's more. It's more than usual. So I asked for a blood test, and straight away, with the blood test, come back and everything had shut down. So I'd gone straight into surgical menopause, which is not usually, it's not meant to happen. But yes, it happened.
Okay.
So if it's going to happen, it's going to happen to me. So it
Okay.
happened. Yeah. So at that point, I was just told to go on to, well, no, to help HRT patches. I can't take the
Okay.
normal medication because I've got a clotting gene, so it'd be highly dangerous.
Yeah.
So just to put some hormones. So basically, when women go through the menopause, it can impact your ADHD symptoms like crazy because your estrogen levels are decline. So this can affect the neurotransmitters in the brain, which we need for regulating and attention and memory skills and everything else. So that's what causes the drop. So us as women,
Okay.
45 onwards, or if you're in the perimenopause, which is, it can be 10 years before that. There's no age, there's not actually no age on this because people are
Right.
going into menopause and perimenopause 10 years before they even hit menopause now. So
Blimey,
yeah,
okay.
it's a
Okay.
thing. Yeah, there's no build up to this and there's no help out there either. You like literally, oh, you're in menopause, here's some tablets, off you pop, deal with it. And then we're left in this whole thing of where do we go for help? Who do we speak to? We can only go by each other's stories. That's all we can do. So,
That's
yeah,
that's crazy. Because I mean, you say about that. There's you got the menopause. Have a patch,
yeah,
whatever. See you
yeah,
later.
yeah.
And,
Here
and
you go,
uh,
deal with it.
yeah, and that's the same with ADHD as well. You get
Yes.
diagnosed. There you go. You got ADHD.
Yeah.
Do you want medication? If you can, there you go. If not, there you go. And that's it. That's all the details you get.
Yes.
And it feels like for us that Doctor Google
Yeah.
has actually it's kind of been where we needed to go. We've needed to go on social media. We need research. Um, it sounds like you got bad throat there.
No, sorry. No, no, there was nothing. All they do, you get a 6-week follow up after the surgery, and then that's it. There's not actually any clinics available. There's no clinics in the UK. All you've got is, I think you've got the she's a TV presenter, Davina McCall. I think she was raising awareness, but that's
Yeah,
it. There's not even leaflets. There's
yeah,
nothing. We have to come together and see each other's stories. Yeah, but also the highest rates of suicide are at their highest when a woman's going through the menopause as well. So this because of the hormone drops and everything else.
blimey. So what happens then? So all the hormones drop and they change, and I understand
So
that about the menopause, but how does that affect
so
the
the
ADHD?
ADHD, because estrogen levels during menopause is also a drop in dopamine levels, which is also
Right.
lower in women with ADHD. So that's where it all comes in together. Uh, so yeah, the only way I can describe it, on a bad day, it's like slow motion. It's like moving through treacle. That's the only way. It's like with everything going on. So even with taking patches and you're getting that little level of hormone back up, your body might not take in all that hormone through that patch or through the cream.
Yeah.
So you're trying to chase that serotonin, good feeling. So bringing your lifestyle, bringing in a good healthy lifestyle can help. Like swimming, hydro pool, not being surrounded by stress is the number one. ADHD on
Yeah.
its own, without the menopause, is don't be around drama or stress, because that is a no-no. That is what puts you into sensory overload. It triggers everything. So throw
Yeah.
menopause into it, you're just like having a double whammy.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine. That's just does it? I'm just trying to sort of imagine in my head how much worse it could get for myself. So I'm not going to get the menopause, but
Yeah.
just thinking and putting myself into so your shoes or another woman's shoes who's going through that, I must be terrible. I'm absolutely terrible again, but with no help.
No, there's no help. Yeah, I literally asked over and over, is there a clinic set up? Is there this? And then you get, and basically, if you go back to the hospital and speak to them, they're talking on a medication level. They're not talking on the aftercare level of it. So I had no clue what was about to happen. Yeah, what was about to, that, what was coming my way. Yeah,
That's
one day one day you can be, I don't know, you can have that little tiny bit of energy back, and then the next day you're absolutely exhausted again, but physically and mentally. But then you've
yeah,
also got the ADHD side where the brain's buzzing, but you haven't. Yeah, it's just a vicious circle. But the only way to try and manage it, if you're not on ADHD meds, is by physical exercise, changing your diet, and just trying to go down that route. So you're doing something, because of the depression rates are so high, and you get anxiety, you get the jitters, and it's just a whole list of symptoms that you never knew were going to come up and get you.
okay. So I mean, also without the medication, you're doing all the different activities, the
Yeah,
exercise and the mindfulness and keeping away from stress. How much of a difference is that? Is it a,
it
a
helps.
life changing difference, or is it just takes the sting out of the tail kind of thing?
No, just takes the sting out. It
Yeah.
basically just keeps you going as a human being. Basically, it's a bit like Groundhog Day. I don't know if you've ever seen that film,
Oh,
Groundhog.
yeah.
It's a bit like that, but every day is different. You just don't know what's gonna. That's it. You don't know what to expect, but all you can do is push yourself to go for that 10-minute walk, just so you can bring in some happy, good feel. Like the good feelings you get when you walk and you get out in nature. Just a bit of happy serotonin, I call it, just to lift the mood. Or and take it easy on yourself, because if you're not kind to yourself
Yeah.
and you're feeling guilty because you haven't done this, you haven't done that, or you haven't got energy to go and meet someone or just meet for coffee, you've got to have a good group of people around you who understand you're not just being
Yeah.
lazy. You're overwhelmed. You're overwhelmed with 1,000 things going on, and on top of that, you've got menopause.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really hard situation to be in, um, because, like I say, you get the diagnosis, there you go, you
Yeah.
get an answer, but then you don't get any help with the management or even the direction to go in. I mean, I'm positive there's going to be therapists out there
Mm.
who kind of specialize in this area. I'm sure there must be, but but you don't get told that. You don't get, okay, these are good places to go. This is the
No,
kind of therapy you would be good for you. There's no direction. It's
no,
just, there you go. See you later.
nothing. And talk therapies are good. So we've got CBT, we've got EFT therapy, and somatic movements are good to help you through it. But they're not like the golden ones. They're not going to like
No.
make it disappear. But it's just helping, and it's just, I think, doing what you're doing and spreading awareness, and everyone bringing their stories together helps another person out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And this is why I do this, really. Started off for myself and then speaking to others. And if I can help people, help spread the word, help
yeah,
people understand themselves, get people talking,
yeah,
talk. That's a huge thing. And that's helped me, just talking about what we're going through, asking the questions. I don't have the answers.
yeah,
I don't expect people to come on this podcast and have all the answers about things. And that's not what it's
yeah,
all about. You know, it's asking the
yeah,
questions. Hopefully people who are listening can get in
yeah,
contact and say, hey, well, actually, I do this and this has worked for me and this
yeah,
hasn't worked for me. And that's how we can, I guess, progress our knowledge and
yeah.
our
And
understanding.
we're all unique. We
Yeah.
all have different symptoms. Yeah. And like you
Yeah.
said, what works for one might not work for someone else.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I've noticed one thing in this community, if you can call it community, this
Yeah.
diverse community, there's a lot of understanding. There's a lot
Yeah.
of acceptance. It's
Yeah.
massive. It's great. Um, so if you are a part of the neurodiverse community, if you are going through the menopause, and you have ADHD as well, or if you don't have ADHD as well, if you have any other neurodiverse condition, if that's the right word or not, I don't know. But let's talk. We
Yeah.
are very accepting. We will listen, and we will help each other and support each other. We're
Yeah.
we're, we're here for you.
That's it. Yeah, it's about bringing people together. Just
And
bringing people together.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. We've got to do it ourselves because we're not getting help elsewhere. So we've got to do it
Uh,
ourselves. So
yeah. And it's thrown me down a different path as well because there wasn't any help. And because I've
yeah,
got an understanding of being on this side of it, I'm now retraining in mental health. So that
okay.
at the all of this, hopefully I can go into something and say, actually, I've been on the other side of this. I'm always going to be on the other side. But if I can now help other people at the end of this, then brilliant. Yeah. And like you said,
Therapists who actually have lived it.
yeah,
Um, that's a good thing. That is a good thing. So because that's a better understanding.
yeah. And you just know exactly where that person's coming from. Whereas I don't know, having conversations with normal people, shall I say? Not, I call it neuro spicy because we've all got a spicy kick to each other, like to our personality. So yeah, I don't know. I just think we can help more. We've got more empathy, I think, because we understand what it's like every day
Yeah.
to live it.
To live it and to an understanding of just what it's like to feel bad,
Yeah,
just in general, just feeling low for whatever reason, loneliness, depression, anxiety, stress. You can't stop the noise in your head, whatever it is. It's it's good to talk, and this community is good because we're all collectively gone through it all.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, we do understand.
Yeah. And yeah, only through, like, I don't know, the more, if there's anyone out there who can help more with like the diet side as well, is there certain foods what trigger it more, do you think? Obviously we know about alcohol. Alcohol's a depressant, so it doesn't help.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
me, I don't drink anymore, so, and that's helped massively. That really
yeah.
has.
That's
Yeah.
cool. I've never drunk, so I haven't got a clue if that would affect me or not. So
Yeah, don't start.
I like my orange juice lemonade too much, so that's okay.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah,
Yeah,
no, yeah, there's a lot of false information out there,
yeah,
and it's going. I mean, especially about nutrition. I mean, that's been going on for decades. False information, um, but then tie it in with the ADHD and things like that is like I've hearing things online about how e numbers and all this sort of bad food, so to speak, can
like
cause.
yeah.
Yeah, and ultra processed food causing ADHD.
No.
Does it? Okay, there are things out there that can exacerbate, you know, energy levels. So if you are hyperactive, you have that tendency. Yeah, it exacerbates certain aspects, but not
Yeah,
cause them. You know,
no.
I've had ADHD for 52 years, and I have a sweet tooth. And
Yeah,
not once have I felt that sugar had made me jump off,
yeah.
out the windows and off cars and run around and scream and, all the stereotypical things that you hear. Not once. So again, everyone is a little bit different. Um,
Yeah, you
so
just
yeah,
touched something there about saying that. Now, I can remember people saying to me, oh, God, she's had lemonade. She's now going to be like the Duracell bunny, or this and that, blah, blah, blah. And it's comments like that what still annoy me to this day. If you could see I was being hyperactive, why the hell wasn't I tested years ago?
yeah,
Because it's just like, oh, I was so hyperactive. But you all said it, but nobody's done anything about it. And yeah, it took for me to be a grown ass adult to go and actually think, hang on, it's not just about being hyperactive. You can have ADHD and not be hyperactive. And it's like in a monologue, isn't it? Going round and around.
yeah,
So
yeah,
there's so many things. But you ask 10 people on the street, oh, what's ADHD? And I guarantee they're all just say, oh, it's someone being hypo. They won't understand the sensory overload and everything else what comes along with it, and being oversensitive. So I'm super oversensitive. I know that. Yeah. And I don't know if a lot of other people with ADHD, do they feel that? Do you feel that?
yes, yeah. I
Yeah.
was listening to a podcast. Was it last year? And they were saying that the RSD, which is the
Yes.
rejection sensitive dysphoria,
Yes.
um, is something that's so prolific in the ADHD world that there's a fight to get it put into the DSM. Um, so when it comes to the diagnostic criteria, it's going to be a part of it,
Yeah.
because most of the things that come along with
Yes.
with ADHD are not part of the diagnosis.
Ah.
So most of it, what you get diagnosed with or through, I guess, it's about the hyperactiveness.
Yes.
It's about the focus, and memory and things like that. And what is the phrase? Because I've got off my head the impulsivity.
Oh.
So yeah,
We won't
so
cut that.
yeah, so your stereotypical parts of ADHD, that's what you get assessed on. That's what you get, how you
Yeah.
get diagnosed. But so they don't use the RSD, the anxiety, the analysis paralysis, all those lovely other things that come along with it.
Yeah.
That's not part of the diagnosis.
So
And
I have a PTSD on top as well to chuck into the mix.
why go half in? Why go half in? Let's just do it all.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it was literally working out what bits were what parts. But the psychiatrist who I dealt with, he was lovely, absolutely lovely, and he listened. And this was you just don't go and have a test, by the way. You have months and months, don't you, of paperwork and etc. etc.
Yeah.
And then to finally see who you've been dealing with for months, and then them actually saying, "Oh, blah blah blah," you're like, "Wow, somebody's listened. Somebody's
Yeah.
actually listened." Yeah. And for me at that point, I thought, "Yeah, I'm going to get that magic pill, and I'm going to feel normal, and everything's going to go quiet, and I'm going to have a normal life." And boom, no, you
Yeah, that
can't
didn't
take
happen.
medication. Not allowed to take the meds. So yeah, back to square one of tree hugging. Being out
Well,
in nature.
think of it this way: you probably were a member of the 20% club who didn't get on with the medication. Yeah, so that's okay. Think of it that
Yeah,
way.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, just
But yeah,
yeah, yeah. Keep
yeah,
walking. Yep.
yeah. Medication doesn't work for everyone. Not everyone wants to do it. Some of the side effects can be not worth
Yeah.
it.
No, no.
Literally, sometimes it just doesn't work for people. So I've been reading and listening. I'm lucky.
Yes.
I am extremely lucky that I haven't had an issue with my medication, and it's been
Yes.
an absolute godsend
Yeah.
for what I needed to do. It's not the be all and end all
No.
in any shape or form. It transforms your life, but I guess it depends on what you want out of it.
Yeah.
You know, there's three things I wanted out of it. To be able to cope with what's going on at home. It's a neurodiverse household.
Yeah.
Our son is ADHD and autistic with a PDA profile, and it's stressful. And I wasn't coping, and I needed that to help me cope, hoping it would help me cope because I was on antidepressants and
Yeah.
everything, and I went to therapy because of it. And I got medication. The first medication I tried, methylphenidate, um, up the dosage to whatever worked for me. Brilliant. And what did it do? Yes, I cope so much better at home. I can read a book now. I've read my first book now. I'm just starting my
Oh,
second book. Um, and, my working memory as well has
yeah.
improved. So that is awesome. So for me, that is life changing. That might be
Yeah.
not like, might not be life changing for someone else, but for me, that is life changing.
Yeah.
So,
Just hit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, and to read the book. Yeah. So I can't even watch a whole film. Yeah. I'm just like halfway through, I'm zoned out and like, oh God, writing something down or picking my phone up. And yeah, I'm bored.
Yeah, I used to absolutely love watching films.
Yeah.
And I've actually, I'm a stay-at-home dad, and right at the beginning, it was like, yeah, no, he's asleep when he's young. He's asleep now. I put a movie on. It's all chill. That's great. But now, I don't know what's changed or why it's changed. I can't
Yeah.
watch a film. Body doubling works for me. So when my wife is here, we can sit down and watch something, no problem at all. Great. But when I'm on
Yes.
my own, I can hardly get through an episode of something that's like 45 minutes in length.
Yeah. Because of the
It's
concentration.
just,
Yeah.
yeah, but that's okay. Yeah, that might have been something that I hyper focused on beforehand or whatever, but
Yeah.
the
And how is
podcast,
your focusing?
hyper focusing, well, everything's about podcasting at the moment. It's absolutely weird. I spent my life not wanting to talk because I
Yeah.
forget things, the anxiety's there. It's been awful.
Yeah.
And all I'm doing now is trying to talk. I'm just
Yeah.
talk online and just getting everything ready for the podcast. I've launched with someone else. I've collaborated with another person, and we've got a second podcast going. And
Yeah.
yes, it's all about talking to people, and it's a weird concept for me. And I'm sure it's the medication that's doing it, because without the medication, there's no way I would be doing this.
Yeah.
I don't like going to other places. I struggle speaking to people I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
I get that. I
but
understand that.
yeah,
Yeah. And
but
maybe
I
that's
guess
why it comes out with me and I overtalk because I'm in an awkward situation. So I just, bleh. Yeah. I don't know if that's an ADHD thing as well. that we don't
Yeah,
know what to
oversharing,
learn.
and
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I didn't. I tried to tell my wife before the diagnosis, tell my wife why what I've said to someone, and it just sounded weird because it felt like it was like maybe I just felt like they were really friendly and I got really comfortable with them, and I just felt that I could say this, but when I said it, I used to think to
Well, yeah.
myself,
Why?
maybe I
Why?
shouldn't have said that because I've only known them for 3 hours, and they
Yeah.
don't need to know about certain things and the
But it's
trouble I've
just,
got with my rectum, and and it's like, no, I don't have a trouble with my rectum, but you know what I mean. It's those things that you like. You talk
yeah,
to your partner about, or your family about, or something like that, or your doctor about, and it's like maybe not someone that you've only known a few hours, and it's like,
exactly. Yeah.
but at that
And
moment, you
warped
feel really
humour.
comfortable talking about stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
shut up.
think warped humour comes with this. It definitely does. It's a coping mechanism with me. Warped humour. Because, yeah, the randomness, I get that completely. Honest, I could kick myself sometimes thinking, why? Why did I just say that? And it's going around
Yeah.
and round my head for the next week. But I said this to him, and now I'm like going out my front door with my hood up because, yeah, I just can't say hello to someone. I'm just like, it's easier if I don't talk. Like, I'm not going to speak to anyone, and then I'll be safe, and then they won't know that I'm a complete weirdo. Oh,
Love it.
yeah, and
Oh,
I'm calling
bless
myself a complete weirdo here because of the conversations I have. No one else, just me.
you. Hey, it's all good. You're in good company. I mean, at the end of the day, um, we're all neurodiverse here, and the chances are that I've zoned out and didn't listen to anything you've just said is quite high. So it's okay.
And that's why I've got a dog.
Oh,
Oh,
bless. So going back to
yeah,
the subject matter, because unlike some people, we diverse in our conversations quite a bit.
yeah,
So let's bring it back
yeah,
to the
yeah. The
the
menopause
menopause.
and the ADHD.
So how long a time frame does all this muddle up and extra hurdles and all this, you know,
So, say
how long does it
you've
last?
got ADHD. So, say you've
Yeah.
already got, say, so I'm just going to go from this age group. So, from
Okay.
about 35 years, that's when our bodies start to change as women and we
Yeah.
start going into perimenopause. But all of this can take 10 years. So, you're on this hurdle of the hormone drop from that age onwards. And some people might not go into menopause till they're in their 50s. Some people might be really young. So you can't really go by what Google says on this.
Mm.
So I've just tried to, from my research and from what I've learned doing my mental health as well, from age 35 upwards, I would say. And so that hormone starts dropping and you don't know what to do. And then you're getting more anxiety and you get the inside jitters. And then with the menopause, the memory zaps and the memory fog is, I can't even tell you. I don't even know people's names. I call my son by the dog's name. I get things muddled up all the time. You get that with ADHD horrendously. So chuck in the menopause on top, and you don't even know what day it is half the time. I have a calendar, I have a diary, I have post-its, and I can still miss appointments, turn up late, or be an hour early. It is all over the place. Yeah, it's the memory zaps as well, and there's nothing you can do about it. And everyone says do a crossword. I don't want to do a bloody crossword. I don't do crosswords.
Crossword?
That doesn't interest me in the slightest. So they say things to try and get your memory going, but with us, we've got to be hyper focused on something.
Well, yeah, this is it. Yeah.
Yeah.
This
If
is
it's not interesting, it's not interesting. Yeah, it's got to interest us to do it. Like, I don't go in the kitchen. I don't cook because I would end up literally with the fire brigade here every night. I just don't do it. It doesn't matter if I've read the instructions, put something in the oven. I'm telling you, with 3 alarms on, I'm still going to cremate that dinner. Nobody ever wants my food unless it's out of the microwave or a salad. I'm a danger in the kitchen. And that has always been since day dot. Always. That has been my biggest downfall, doing that. But driving, for example, I'm hyper focused when I get in the car. Always hyper focused. I'm aware of safety. I'm aware of everything around. A lot of people say with driving in ADHD, but that makes me hyper focused for safety reasons. So yeah, and I've been driving, 30 or 35 years. So we've all got different things where it really affects us. And mine's sleep as well. Sleep is horrendous. Yeah, and
What's your
nothing.
sleep pattern?
Oh, absolutely awful. Yeah. But again, you've got hot sweats, cold sweats from the menopause, the body temperature going in, duvet off, duvet on. I've sat in the car with the air conditioning on at 11 o'clock at night before because I couldn't cool down. And then the next minute I'm shivering and back indoors. This is the kind of hormone drops. And then you wake up and you're exhausted. You try and chase that serotonin for that good feeling, for the good, happy hormones to come in. So that's what I'm saying. It's a whole bundle of, it's like upside down. Yeah. I don't think life's ever going to be normal again. And you just got to adjust to it and find what works for you. Just find what works for you and keep going with that. And a lot of self-love. Yeah. A lot of self-love.
Yeah. You've got to I mean, to get there, you've got to understand yourself. So you've got to have the diagnosis. You've got to have that that knowledge come from somewhere to then go, okay, actually, this is how it is. It's not just my fault and that is it, and I can change the way. It is. It's just a part of me, and I don't even say forgive yourself because there's nothing really to forgive. But it's just but like you said, be kind. Just be kind. It's not you're not bad, you're not rubbish, you're not stupid, you're not anything like that. It's just the way you cope with life and the hurdles that you've got. And what you need is the tactics and the knowledge to navigate those times. That's what we need.
I say the word calm, but I'm saying the word calm from somebody with ADHD and menopause. I'm saying, for me, calm is having a little walk, just being in nature, kicking my shoes off, standing on the grass, because that's what helps me. And it might look crazy to someone else, but for me, that works. It helps. It's a technique what helps. Somatic movements help as well, because you're still moving your body slightly. And for anybody with disabilities or anything, and they can't do big movements or anything, you could go in a hydro pool to try and bring down the symptoms, because then you're in a hydro pool, which is good for people with mobility issues, because not everybody can get out and walk, and they're still going through the same symptoms. So it's about helping. There's such a wider thing. It's a bigger picture than just having these labels.
There's such a focus on people or the information that we get in life about how to avoid things from happening, how to decrease the chances of this happening, how to decrease the chances for that. But there's very, very little about, well, if it does happen, how do you manage it?
Exactly. That's it.
There needs to be more of it.
Yeah, definitely. And they don't warn you as well. With menopause and that, your hair gets thin, your skin gets saggier, because you haven't got all of them hormones you had before, keeping everything where it should be. So that's when the diet change comes in, to eat more protein and just to build yourself up, take more vitamins. And you've got all of that side of it as well. And nothing against men, but there's other stuff we have to take after having major surgery then to keep the bladder okay. And it's just literally, we need some kinds of, I don't know, daily planner to help us do this, so we can tick little boxes to make sure our mental health's staying okay, and also that we've got the right people around us. Because if somebody doesn't understand about it, you can't even talk to them, because they're just saying, oh, stay strong, you'll be okay, you'll get through it. But that's not what we want to hear.
No.
We want people
No.
checking in and vice versa, and managing it that way rather than saying, "Oh, you've got your tablets now. It's fine. It's a label," but it's not. It's not just that. Yeah. So the list we could go on about. This list is endless.
Yeah. Yeah.
This list is endless. Yeah.
Man, it's yeah. I mean, there's a lot to cope with, and it's a
Yeah.
minefield without the menopause and putting that on
Yeah.
top as well. It's just, and it's really just a shame that
And crying over
that
nothing
help
because you're
isn't there.
just
Yeah.
crying over nothing, literally nothing. And you think, what the hell is wrong with me? But then 10 minutes later, you brushed it off and you're fine. And then 3 hours later, you could be back in the same situation. But I think that could be being overwhelmed, not feeling you're not doing enough, or having a bit of an ADHD meltdown where everything's just going like going around and around and around, and there's no outlet. And that's when you need the little distractions to think, right, I'm just going to do this to bring myself back down again. Yeah.
Would it be would it be fair to say? I mean, there is obviously at the moment no one place you can go to get the information and how to
No.
navigate your life with the menopause and ADHD.
Yeah.
But would it be fair to say at this moment in life, as it stands, to start, if you're a woman of a certain age, I guess,
Yeah.
start preparing for it, start to understand it, start reading up on it, and like
Yeah.
say, making sure that you're having, be it supplements or vitamins and minerals and
Yeah.
eating right, getting things into place first before it can happen, so then you're used to it. Is that a
Yeah.
fair assumption? That would be a good idea, or
Um,
would that be absolutely load of rubbish?
Unless you're really lucky. I'm lucky I've got a good doctor, but
Yeah.
some people don't have that luck with
Mm.
getting good doctors, and you hear about it all the time. But you can ask for a blood test to see where your hormone levels are at. Sorry, where the levels are at, to see if you're perimenopause, because we get signs as women that we think, oh, this isn't happening. But I didn't go through a natural menopause. I
Mm.
went into a
Yeah.
surgical menopause. It was out of my hands, and it happened within an amount of days. So I was like, literally, didn't know, hadn't read up, didn't know what was going on or anything. So I've had to self learn and self teach and think, right, is this working for me? And then other people saying, oh, go and get a massage. Well, a massage is lovely if you like being touched. But if you don't want somebody's hands on you, that's sensory overload before you even got your clothes off and lay on a bed. We've got these added things to it. I don't know. To other people with ADHD, we have this skin sensitive where we don't want to be touched. I don't know if you've come across that before. Yeah.
Other people I spoke to, yeah, they've
Yeah.
mentioned about sort of having that sort of sensitivity to touch and don't like
Yeah.
being hugged, things like that. I'm the other way around. I
Yeah.
love being touched. I love being massaged and tickled. That's great. That sent me
Yeah.
right off to sleep. No, but other people are the complete
Yeah.
opposite.
Yeah, kind of think it's like, oh, go and have a massage. I don't want a massage. And then you try and have a massage, and then I end up talking all the way through it. What is the point?
Yeah,
Yeah,
ma-
finding
mass-
that.
having a massage. I'm actually a massage therapist myself. Um, but no, massage for relaxation is only
Yes,
ever going to work if you want to have it.
yeah, and you're
You
not
know,
awkward about having it because
this
you're
is it.
going in.
If you're gonna lay there and you're gonna be tense and stressed and worried,
Yeah,
and it's not gonna help.
yeah. And you're masking, as to say, don't speak,
Yeah,
don't speak, don't speak, because you're awkward because of the silence. I get very awkward as well if there's silence. And if I can't have a conversation with somebody, I'm then sitting there thinking, what do I say next? And then that's when we become random because we're feeling awkward and we're getting overwhelmed. And then that's when weird stuff just flows out. And you just think, why? Why did we say that? So I don't know if that has its perks. Yeah. But another thing we need to cover really is when I think with ADHD,
yeah,
you can attract the wrong people and put yourself in difficult and dangerous situations
yeah,
because you're vulnerable. and you think everyone's going to be nice and kind and etc etc, and then 9 times out of 10 we find out too late their intentions
Yep.
wasn't what they should have been. So that's the other thing what needs to be covered with it.
Yeah, it's if we could only hyper focus on our relationship,
Yeah.
to go into depth and analyze everything to work out, is this a good relationship? Is this a good person? Is this person right for me?
Yeah.
And it's not always if that person's a good person or
Yeah.
not. They might be a great person, but is that person right for
Right.
you?
Yeah.
Um,
But
so
we're chasing that serotonin, and we
mm,
ignore the red flags in the beginning, and we think, oh wow, and you're getting that heightened because of the ADHD. You think, oh, this person's great, and then 3 months down the line, they're not.
yeah,
And then it's how do you? Yeah, it's having that awareness as well. And personally, I went on a course to make myself more aware. And I've been single for a while, and I'll be staying single because I put myself in a difficult situation, etc. And I'm lucky I got out. But other people, when I don't know, with ADHD and being sensitive and everything, you just don't see some things coming at the time. So there needs to be more awareness on that as well, because you just don't ever think that they go together, ADHD, and that you're going to end up in this situation. But you're chasing the happy, good feelings, that serotonin rush. So yeah, it's all linked. It's all links.
it's yeah. I mean, if you, I mean, that's one of the things to look at in someone's, I guess, relationship, not just with, I guess, with a physical relationship, emotional
Yeah,
relationship, but with friendship as well. Go look
yeah,
back in all the past relationships, how they
yeah,
were, and a lot of the time it's been a bit of a train wreck.
yeah,
You know,
100%.
totally the
Yeah,
wrong people, haven't lasted long.
yeah.
One after the other.
Alcohol. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
drinking as well. If you're throwing drinking in, yeah. I drank for years ago to numb myself, and
yeah,
it's not good. And it's only when I realised alcohol was a trigger and took a step back, and it drives me mad now when people go, "Oh, just have one, just do this," but no, I don't want that, and I steer clear of it. And I've cut so many people out because I don't want to be around alcohol. I have no
yeah,
interest, and that's me putting boundaries in for me now. And if people don't respect that, then they shouldn't be around.
yeah. You've got to have know your boundaries, understand your boundaries, stick with
Yeah,
them. Your mental health is, and
yeah,
your and physical health, and safety is more
yeah,
important than having a laugh or having a certain amount of
yeah,
friends, whatever.
yeah. It's about having
Um,
safe friends around you as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Having
My
safe.
my circle of friends is
Yeah.
really, really small.
Yes.
Um, so when it comes to talking to people on a regular basis,
Mm.
seeing people, it's me, my wife, my child,
Yeah.
mum and dad. That's
Yeah.
my circle.
That's the.
Um, I work part time, so I see people at work, whatever. But it's
Yeah.
yeah, I've stopped chasing other people.
Yes.
Um, I've taken a stand back and just like, okay, I'm just going to look after myself. Um,
Yes.
I do have a
And
bit
then
of an issue where if you've
back.
done me wrong, you've done me wrong. So if someone's done me wrong,
Yeah.
I yeah, no, I'll cut you off.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a. I think that is actually a superpower of ADHD. Of that, when our feelings are hurt, or you think I wouldn't treat somebody like that, why have you done this? That we can just go, do you know what? I don't need you in my life. Done. And I think maybe, yeah,
yeah, I think some people should do that more often. I gotta, I gotta
yeah,
understand.
I
Yeah, it's
totally agree with you, because then we're not like going back a bit. When you're around the wrong people, that's when the impulsiveness
yeah,
can kick in, because you're not in control of certain situations. You're more impulsive. You're making the wrong decisions. You can get financially in trouble because you're just on this circle. And like you said, as you get older and you take a step back, and like you said, just looking around you, that's when you can take other things on board and think, right, I've made so many wrong decisions. I'm now not doing that anymore. Yeah. And like you said, yeah, I've been a complete train wreck in my time, but I'm learning from it. And it's taken me 47 years to learn. Yeah. I don't want anyone toxic around me.
Yeah.
I don't want to be going in pubs. I'd rather be with the sheep in a field and walk the dog, or etc., etc. Yeah, just so that I know my mental well-being and I'm handling my own life in the way I want it. Yeah, and I don't need to be around a lot of people anymore either. I like my peace. So if there's any kind
Yeah.
of drama piece, I'm not interested. Don't even talk to me about it, because I'll zone out within 2 seconds. Yeah. And I don't even watch normal TV. I gave that up years ago as well. I don't read the papers. I don't read magazines. I'm not interested. I watch what I want to watch. I look at what I want to, and that's what's going into my brain.
Having that control, take control of your life,
Yeah.
take control of what you want, and be, as much as you can, be who you actually are.
Yeah.
I spoke about this in the podcast a few times now, but I mean, everybody masks from time to time. Everybody masks,
Yeah.
you know, be it for a job interview or meeting, you know, the in-laws for the first time, or, you know, so, but it's always sort of situational, and it doesn't last long. And you know what I mean, you know,
Yeah.
and but masking constantly, every day, all day,
It's
yeah,
exhausting.
it's hard doing it for an hour, you know. So yeah, so where you absolutely can be yourself, know who you are, understand what you need, what you don't need,
Yeah.
you know. And if that's lots of people, that's no one. If it's, you know, if it's exercise, if it's TV, if it's podcasting, if it's reading a book, walking in nature,
Or
find
learning new
yourself.
things. Learning new
Yeah,
things. Yeah. That's it. I
find
never
yourself
thought I'd
and be
be doing all this.
yourself.
Yeah. And just doing that. What was I going to say to you? What was I going to tell you? Oh, it's gone. See?
Absolutely, we digress, and I haven't got a clue what the podcast is all about anymore. So, yeah. So, who are you?
Oh, gosh. I just landed here.
Did I actually press record?
Oh, don't say that. If I there was something I wanted to cover with you as well. The stigma, that was it. This stigma attached to invisible illnesses or disorders. Oh my gosh. If somebody's got a broken leg, they can see they've got a broken leg. But if somebody looks okay, they would, and to say they've parked in a disabled bay or anything, and you can see them just getting out, but you can't visibly see they've got a broken leg, etc. But they've got 4 diagnoses of disorders, and that's why they need to be close to that shop, etc., etc. Because of other stuff, the stigma attached to this, I see it all the times in comments, and I don't jump in on comments or anything, because I just don't. There's no point, because you're dealing with people what don't understand. Otherwise, they wouldn't have made the comment in the first place. But especially on TikTok, you see the stigma attached. Oh, everyone thinks they've got ADHD because they've seen this and that. And I just, to raise awareness to the stigma attached to all these disorders. Yeah, I think it's actually heartbreaking sometimes when you see it, the struggles. And then someone says, oh, they've just got this. They're having a funny 5 minutes. They need to burn off energy. And I just think, wow, is that how you really think? Yeah.
It would be so much easier all around if we could just all be just nice to people. Don't judge, you know, all the time, and just let people be. I to be honest with you, I've only learned all this because of the journey with my son, and realized we need to look at ourselves before we start talking about other people, because everyone's got a story. Everyone's got a story. We just don't know what it is. So if someone's rude to you, or someone's looking really down or sad, or someone's walking funny, it doesn't matter what it is. Everyone's got a story, you know. Unless you want to take the time to find that story out and listen to that person, then if you're not going to do that, shut up.
Yeah.
walk
It's,
away.
yeah. It's ending this stigma to what comes with everything.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's just
just be
ignorance.
nice.
That's all it is ignorance.
Yeah. And I think everyone should accept. Again, I said the other day that it's nice for people to have the knowledge. It's great if everyone knew about ADHD, um, but it's not the key thing, because
No.
knowing about it and what it's all about will only take you so far. You have to accept. You have to have acceptance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even without knowledge, just accept. If someone struggles in noisy places, just accept that. If someone
Yeah.
struggles getting to sleep, accept it. If someone struggles to concentrate, accept that they struggle. You know,
Yeah.
accept that you don't know how to help them, and maybe do something about your own knowledge, but accept what they're going through and just
Yeah.
listen to them if they want to talk to you. Just accept. It doesn't
That
matter if you've
makes
got
it.
ADHD or a diagnosis. It's a struggle. Someone's got
Yeah.
arthritis and they're struggling to get off a seat because they're all
Yeah.
seized up. Just accept that that's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they can see it, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's the
it's
things
just,
that people can't see that they don't understand.
yeah.
Yeah.
So just be nice. Everyone's got a story and everyone's got a struggle. Everyone's
Yeah.
got something in their lives that they either don't want to talk about or they find really hard.
Yeah.
Um, just understand that other people have got that too.
Yeah. And the world would be a better place.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah. And and I'm finding now as well, and I've got a friend with ADHD as well. And it's funny because we click, but it doesn't matter what we send to each other. We understand it. And we don't have to then say, oh, yeah, we sent each other a long paragraph or something, because we just get what we've sent each other. We don't have to overthink that part because we're on the same wavelength. And I don't know. Is it easier just to be friends with people with the same diagnosis because they understand it? I'm
It is
that.
easier because in a lot of cases
Yeah,
there's an automatic acceptance there.
yeah,
You know, although
yeah,
their journey is different, mine and your journey has been different,
yeah,
but there's an automatic acceptance. If you forget, I'm like,
yeah. Well, we done that a minute
you
ago.
know, yeah.
Yeah,
But that's what it is. We
yeah,
understand that, and I feel comfortable knowing that you're not gonna have a go or get bored at me when I forget words and stuff like that. You'll probably end up laughing, which is great.
yeah. I
But
love it.
where I used to work, if I'm on a conference call and I
Yeah,
forget words, that's stress.
yeah, yeah.
Because no one's thinking about what I'm going through. They're thinking about, tell me the figures. Why don't
Yes,
you know them?
yeah, yeah.
So
And
yeah,
I get that. And some appointments you go to, just say it's for your heart, they haven't got a clue all your other diagnosis. So you get in there and you're just like a bat out of hell, and they're like, whoa. And I think the lung consultant of me said, your speech is so pressured, are you okay? And I was like, and this was before I was diagnosed. And I was like, do you know what? Yes, I was so pleased he picked up on my speech, because it showed me somebody else in a professional environment was seeing what everyone else could see, but without the diagnosis. Yeah, and that was used as well. So yeah, but I don't know what that is, because again, with ADHD, you can be quiet ADHD or the opposite, but things
yeah.
still need to come out, but they're coming out like at 30 miles an hour out your mouth. And I find if I get excited, oh, you won't even give me. I'm just like, yeah, yeah, like a puppy. Yeah, but I can't be the only one.
No,
Yeah.
you're not. You're not.
Oh,
My the lady uh, I do the other podcast with, I've collaborated with, she's very opposite to myself. Waited to
yeah,
get diagnosed in both ASD and ADHD, but
yes,
I'm a lot quieter. I try so hard not to interrupt. I'm very good at trying not to interrupt. Um,
I
be, be
try.
because I think some of it is because I know I have a boring voice, and if I interrupt you, it's going to take me half an hour to tell you the little thing. It's like, oh, now I'm boring myself, so I'm like, I'll just shut up. But other people, and she isn't. She'll just go straight into it. But that's okay, before my diagnosis, before I knew any of this, it used to drive me nuts.
Yeah.
Let me talk. Do not interrupt me. Let me talk. You're doing my head in. I've got something to say. I need to say it. But
Yeah.
now I understand what it's all about, and I find it a lot easier,
Yeah.
to,
By
to
my
deal with.
hardest. I try and try and try, and then that's it. And if it annoys people, it annoys people. It's what it is.
Yeah. But you
Yeah.
interrupt me, it's absolutely fine. With two people with ADHD talking to each other, if we're not zoning out or interrupting or forgetting what we're talking about, someone's lying about their diagnosis. Okay, so you know what I mean. So
This is me with all my notes here.
this is yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah, if I didn't have stuff written down, oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. It's just, yeah, I just couldn't do it. And I just work from the iPad, the laptop, everything, just so that I can take the information in as well. Yeah. But like I said, some days I'm just like, I don't even know what day it is. I ask Alexa or look on my phone. And then the next day I'm just, oh, yeah. But that's got to be the brain fog side of it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just so much there. It's just so much there. It is
It
what it
is.
is.
Yeah.
Were you going to say that?
Yeah, I said yes. And if somebody has to say the words, it is what it is. They've got the understanding, because yeah, there's a quote on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I use it for quite a lot. Yeah, but no. Well, hopefully other people will listen to this and they would
Yeah.
have
I
the
mean,
understanding. And yeah,
there's a lot to think about. I mean, I didn't know all of that about putting them
men-
together. The
yeah,
menopause. I mean, I think like a lot of people, the basics. As you
yeah,
get older as a woman, hormones
yeah,
change, hot
yeah,
flushes,
yeah,
short in temper. Okay, that's pretty much it. But just like with the
yeah,
ADHD thing, there's a lot else that goes with
yeah.
it.
It
Um,
heightens it all. It's
yeah.
heightened. That's the only
So
word. That's the word, heightened. Yeah.
that's got to be tough. But I hope people listen to this, and I hope people have a better understanding of either what's going on or what can go on or
Yeah.
what's ahead, possibly.
Yeah.
But talking is good. Talking is good for me. And
Yeah.
talking helps to educate either yourself or other people. I've been educated today,
Exactly.
so,
And
and
in
I'll,
time, I just hope there's more campaigns with the government and more funding to get
yeah,
things up and running, because only with us doing things like this and talking about it, that other people will listen. And hopefully, yeah, if it can just get the word out more.
yeah, I know, absolutely. And one thing I would like as well to change is with this kind of situations, the invisible
Yeah.
disabilities,
Yeah.
the hidden issues and struggles. We want to be able to see people who know what they're talking about in those areas.
Yeah.
And if you got something a lot of the time physical, all right, say you've got I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you've got a heart issue, you probably go to the GP first of all, and the GP goes, oh yeah, let's refer you. So you go see, a heart specialist or a heart clinic or, a cardiovascular surgeon, da, da, da. It's all in that
Yeah.
area, But with ADHD, maybe with the menopause as well, that pretty
Yeah.
much everyone else you see after the diagnosis has absolutely no clue.
No.
Then you don't, do you get a menopause specialist? I don't
No.
see many ADHD specialists out there, or I mean, I'm sure there are, but
You just get the diagnosis unless you go in
yeah,
private. And who can afford to go to private?
it's
And then,
it's hard. But you still don't
yeah,
get all the information afterwards.
no,
We were lucky. We were lucky, and we did. However, it's the same as everybody else. You get the diagnosis, and there were
yes,
great people who I went to. They were really, really nice. Um, but that's it.
yeah,
All the other stuff, the bottom part of the ADHD iceberg, all of that
yeah,
stuff, I have to find out myself. You know,
yeah,
so it would be nice with our son. anyone will agree. If they've got children, send children at school, especially if they're struggling with school, everyone you speak to or you're told to speak to, because of whatever the social workers or the interactive team, the communication interactives team in schools and the Senkos and all that, none of them are specialized in what your child is going through or what you're going through as a family. So it's like every time you speak to someone, they're like, you have to explain to them what the condition is, what the disorder is, what they're going through, because they don't know. We want to be able to speak to people who actually know.
Yeah, and then put a plan in place and work with you. I get it.
Yeah, absolutely. As a SEND parent,
yes,
and like other SEND parents out there, I am tired of being put on sort of courses, parental courses.
Yes.
To be a better parent for your child and all that, which is great. But it's got nothing to do with what our child is going through and how to help our child.
Yeah.
We need specialist help.
Yeah. More people being helped to train. Yeah. And then, giving them the opportunities. And there's charities you can now work through once you've got the qualifications. But you need the qualifications to be taken seriously because of the field you're working in. So it's helping people with invisible diseases, etc., and disorders. And if they want to go into the mental health field, and then it's going to be us what makes the change because of the understanding.
We need more people like you.
Let me get qualified first.
Well, we need more people trying to get qualified. So still we need more people like you. So that's what we need. We need people who actually understand why they're talking to us. Yeah.
And just one person, how you can better your day, just by, I don't know, trying this or working out what doesn't work for you. And then you've got your goal plan really there, haven't you? Finding out what doesn't work and then what maybe we could bring in to work for somebody. Yeah.
Right then, my lovely. We tell you what, we've digressed so much. It's been incredible. Actually, I'm gonna retitle this podcast as a podcast about stuff.
Stuff.
The episode about stuff.
That's it. Women's bit. Well, women don't have bits anymore.
I'm not going to put a podcast about women's bits. So
no, I think OnlyFans. Wrong channel. Right, I can take my glasses off now. I think, I'm glad you're not recording that bit, was you?
Oh, I certainly am.
We're on the wrong channel. How to get this across?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Probably get more viewers though, to be fair. So
it's all about the hashtags. Hashtagging it. OnlyFans. Oops, sorry, that was an admin mistake. We meant ADHD. Yeah. Get it up.
So people, be good, be kind, and remember, you're not alone.